And we welcome you to this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Eric Bach and Danny Nicosia here on a cool night for the home opener for the number 11 team in the country, the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, 1-0 on the season, coming off a pretty large opening statement win on the road at UNC Pembroke on Saturday. Welcome in the North Greenville Crusaders tonight for some non-conference action on a Wednesday night from the Moretz Sports Complex. Danny, number 2, this is the second meeting ever between the Crusaders and the Bears. These two met back in 2019, which was one of the best seasons in the history of Lenoir-Rhyne women's soccer. Bears took a 3-0 win that night, and we'll try to repeat that performance tonight. Lots of good things happened on Saturday as we take a look at our keys to the game presented by Fry Regional Medical Center. A lot of good things happened on Saturday for the Bears, but these keys to the game is what head coach Gary Higgins is going to be focusing on tonight.
The first one here is switching the point of attack. The Bears have a lot of speed on both sides with Allie Zuger and Kara Gavigan playing those winger positions. So switching the point of attack and being able to play it into the space and get around the defense is going to be really important for the Bears, and just moving that defense back and forth and finding those holes. And then having that composure in the final third as they switch the point of attack and move forward towards the goal. Being able to put the ball in the back of the net and score some goals and take advantage of those opportunities when they're presented. And then lastly is creating better passing angles. Coach Gary Higgins said, there was a little bit of nerves, some anxiousness in that first game against UNC Pembroke. So I think it'll be good for the girls to be home and play in front of a home crowd, and hopefully we see some good things from them.
Bears jumped up 2 spots in the rankings this week. Started the season at number 13 in the country, moved up to number 11 after the win at Pembroke on Saturday. North Greenville comes in. They've played 2 games, 0-1-1. Drew against Lander to open the season back last Thursday, 2-2, and then went to Division I Furman and got beat up pretty good, 5-0. Furman scored 6 minutes into that game on a header and never looked back. But for the Crusaders, they had a good year in the spring 2020 season, 8-2-1, lost in the Conference Carolina championship game to Mount Olive, 1-0. They returned most of their offense from last year, so Gary Higgins told me today that he expects a feisty team. He expects a lot of challenges all up and down the field today. So we're about 5.5 minutes away from kickoff. As the teams are making their way out international style. Saw the Lenoir-Rhyne men here Saturday night at the same time the women were beating Pembroke. The men took a 2-0 win over Florida Tech here at Moretz. Big game coming up just in 2 days. The women, after tonight for the Bears, head to Florida to take on the number 4 ranked Florida Tech Panthers. That'll be a top 11, hopefully top 10 matchup by the time that rolls around. So the starting lineups are getting announced right now. Go through them real quick. For the Crusaders, in goal, 0-0, Lizzie Luzzy, junior from King, North Carolina. Defender number 2, Eleni Sprinkle. Forward number 6, Cameron Pagliaro, senior from Fort Lauderdale. Sprinkles from Spartanburg SC. Forward number 7, Rami Contreras, junior from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Love saying that. Abby Mayer, sophomore forward from Roxborough, North Carolina. Faith Nodler, who scored 10 goals in 11 games in the spring, starts at midfield from Columbus, Georgia. Ainsley Robinson, junior defender from Greer, South Carolina. Megan Beal, senior from Lenexa, Kansas. Sarah Hazelwood, defender from Antrill, South Carolina. Natalie Johnson, she's the center mid from Gainesville, Florida, a senior. And rounding out the Crusaders starting lineup is Sarah Adcock, graduate student from Birmingham, Alabama. And for the Bears, as we are here on the Bears Sports Network, Grayson Cameron gets another start in goal, made 5 saves in a shutout in the season opener. Vivian Becker-Peralta played all 90 in her Bear debut, gets the start. Rhea Acton, the leader of this team, tied for the SAC lead in goals with 7, had 4 game-winning goals last year. We're going to pause on the starting lineup as the national anthem is going now. Back to the starting lineups here on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Finishing up on Rhea Acton, first team All-SAC in the spring. Stephanie Figueredo gets the start defensively, had 10 points in 2020. Nev Dustin, junior from Palm City, Florida, honorable mention, All-SAC a year ago. Amanda McFarland, Mac, as they say, started all 11 last year. Ina Mulliner-Serra gets the start, played all 90 at Pembroke. Junior midfielder from Spain. Ali Zuger, who Danny mentioned in the open, gets the start on one of the wings, as does Jessica Carmichael. Maddie Kyle, Kara Gavigan round out the Bear starting lineup. So, there they are, the number 11 team in the country, opening the home schedule before they hit the road. It's a quick turnaround, heading to Melbourne, Florida to take on the Florida Tech Panthers, but this is a game that the Bears are supposed to win, and a game that Gary Higgins will want ultimate focus in before probably using it as somewhat of a tune-up before Saturday.
Absolutely. The Bears are going to go down to Florida, like you said, and play Florida Tech on Saturday, and that's going to be...
Friday.
Friday, you're right. That's going to be a really good matchup. You know, Florida Tech came into this week's poll ranked at number 4. So that's a big top 15 matchup that's going to be really good for the Bears. You know, kick off the season with a strong game like that. It's going to put you in really good shape before going into conference play next Wednesday against Limestone.
It's 3 quality opponents before conference play. Pembroke's a historically strong program. You mentioned North Greenville's success a year ago. Came up 1 goal short in the Conference Carolina Tournament Championship game. Won their last 6 before that, heading up to the final. And obviously Florida Tech, as we mentioned, on Friday. Just about ready to roll. Maybe a little bit of rain in the forecast. We hope it stays away. Had a tiny bit of lightning earlier this afternoon, but things are clear and cool now. Both nights that we've had soccer games here at Moretz, it's just been beautiful, and we're underway. Bears in the white, Crusaders in the gray. Here's Rhea Acton, the silent assassin, as Gary Higgins says. Sends it over to Evan O'Leary, who had the second goal, the insurance goal off the bench. Both goal scorers in a 2-0 win for the Bears at Pembroke were non-starters, came off the bench on Saturday.
And I think it's really good for the younger girls to, get involved early in the season, get some touches during these games. So once they go into conference, they're ready for that type of play.
First corner of the game to Rhea Acton. Off the head of the Crusader defender. North Greenville not able to get it out right away. Nev Dustin keeps it in.
A little bit too strong there from Ina. But it's a great look. And again, going back to those keys to the game is really going to be, creating those passing angles and connecting on both ends of the ball and just keeping possession.
One thing that strikes me about Rhea Acton is she's listed as a defender, but she's in the offensive zone more often than not.
Absolutely. She's a really fun player to watch. Both sides of the ball. She can go and take it and score, but she can also hustle back and stop some really big plays.
Here she is here. Fires high.
That's a great take, too. Nev Dustin did a great job, just kind of taking the defender out of the way with that run across the front line. Excuse me, that's not Nev, that's Leone.
Goalkeeper for North Greenville, as there's a turnover that Nev Dustin creates. Goalkeeper is Lizzie Luzzy. That one a goal kick. Here's Luzzy, 5'5" junior from King, North Carolina. Bit of a rough go of it in their last time out against Furman, but she got peppered with 14 shots from Furman in the first half of that 5-0 win, so she probably did well to keep as many out as she did. O'Leary and Acton not on the same page there. Contreras gives chase, and offside is O'Leary, so it'll go back to the Crusaders. Head coach Gary Higgins in his 7th season at the helm of this program. All-time wins leader with 71, now 72 after the win at Pembroke on Saturday. 2-time South Atlantic Conference Coach of the Year. It's the first time the ball's gone inside the 18 in front of Grayson Cameron. Becker Peralta with a nifty move there to get it out. Talked to the coaching staff about her today. That's Becker Peralta. They said she plays like she's been here for 4 years. She's been here for one official game. This is her second start.
Just watching her stature on the field, she's a confident player, and she's going to go out there and she's going to stop the ball and she's going to demand it at her foot and really construct that back line. Almost filling in for Alicia Cruis, who graduated this past spring. Vivian steps right in there. Same number and everything. Filling those shoes really well so far.
The word they kept using was composure. That's what you need from a center back.
Absolutely.
Gary Higgins, I think, knew what he had in her, but I think she exceeded even his expectations in that opener. So one other thing that Higgins mentioned to me about North Greenville today is they have a very long throw-in, so that's something to keep an eye on. O'Leary turns it over.
Unfortunate there. That's, another key to our game here is being able to switch the point of attack. I think O'Leary could have given that ball up just a little bit sooner and found Gavigan at her feet instead of trying to play her into space as the defender was laying off a little bit.
First chance for Grayson Cameron skips in off the foot of Megan Beal. Had 3 goals a year ago for the Crusaders. Grayson made 5 saves and a shutout. Coming off a second-team all-conference spring season. And one thing staff said about her was that she's just so commanding and has such a presence back there directing the defense both vocally and physically in front of her. There's a good look down the far side. This is Kara Gavigan. First time we've said her name.
Kara's got some wheels on her. She stepped in and she ran with the track team this past spring, and Coach Higgins was all about giving her that opportunity to do so, and she's got some wheels.
O'Leary almost cut Acton off. She's inside the 18. Has to send it back out. It's Amanda McFarland. There's a header from O'Leary that just misses wide. Good look that time from Mack, though. O'Leary just a freshman.
Good step there. And you have Leone.
And a chance for Proessel. And a one-timer. Misses wide. Like Gavigan maybe overthought that one there.
Just a little bit. I think Leone also could have, slotted that in the far post, but that was a great look to Gavigan. And, again, taking advantage of those opportunities in the final third is going to be really important.
It was what Gary Higgins was most wanting to improve on after the opener. He loved the effort, he loved the intensity of game one, but they weren't quite precise enough to his liking. It's a good example of that there, but probably more of a product of early season, just rustiness and trying to get back into the groove than anything else.
Absolutely. And that's a great win there by Kara Gavigan getting a throw-in, and another great switch here to Rhea Acton.
Acton gets challenged there by Contreras, comes out of it. The shot gets deflected and should be the second corner of the game, and it is.
Rhea has that powerful leg that she can really, hit it from anywhere on the field, and she's either going to put it on her teammate's foot or head and they're going to score, or she's going to strike it from outside the 18 and it's going to go upper 90s into the net. So this is dangerous here for the Bears.
Trying to get into their set. Acted a little short with it and off the foot of Gavigan. Not even close.
It's nice to see the Bears here, though, getting a bunch of opportunities early on.
Yeah, the first 8 minutes has been spent on this half of the field. Only one shot on goal from Grayson Cameron, but it wasn't much of a challenge for her. Crusaders trying to get something moving. This is Pagliaro. And now Beal, who was the captain of this Crusader team that Megan Beal was wearing 17 in gray. Gary Higgins said that she has a great strike and is one that the Bears will have to keep an eye on the entire time. There's Grayson Cameron directing traffic. Hardly any wind to speak of. Not too humid, not too hot. Was a little humid earlier, but it's cooled off as the sun is set. Good win there from Nev.
Oh, a great save down the line.
See if O'Leary can get a run down the left side. Reverses field. Finds Nev Dustin. Turns it over off the side of her foot.
Unfortunate there. Her and Steph weren't completely on the same page. That defender came right off Steph's hip and swooped right in and got that one.
It's back to the Bears, right at the midfield stripe. Yet to have a foul 9.5 minutes in. The opposite of the men's game on Saturday. There were people flying all over the place and whistles seemed like every 20 seconds.
Yeah, these girls stay on their feet and they play through pretty well. Looking big gap in the middle of the field there. O'Leary was looking to lay it off, but just no one there.
But these freshmen who have come into this system that's already so well established, the Bears are picked first in the SAC. They won the SAC tournament championship a year ago. Top 15 team in the country, but freshmen like O'Leary and Becker Peralta, they've just found their niche so early here in game two.
And even looking at, some of our other players, Kara Gavigan came in last year as a freshman and really stepped up into that starting lineup and made a difference for the Bears as well. So a lot of young faces out there, freshman or sophomore, that are going to help this Bears team for a long time going forward.
Ansley Robinson, center back for the Crusaders, dumps it off to Natalie Johnson. And here's the captain, Megan Beal. Looks for a run up the middle, but it gets intercepted by Becker Peralta.
a great look there.
There's Rhea Acton.
Unfortunate touch by Rhea, but she somehow wins it back again.
She won't say 3 words when you're around her.
Definitely not. One of the most soft-spoken people I've probably ever met. But
she lets her play do the talking.
Absolutely.
Rhea Jr. from Leicester, England.
And one of my favorite things about these two outside defenders for the Bears, and Rhea Acton and Maddie Kyle, is they love to go forward. And I love watching them just take defenders on and add to the numbers in our attack. They're both very dangerous in different ways. Rhea can score, and Maddie just has such composure on the ball. She can take on anyone and bring it right up the sideline for a cross.
Acton takes it from the defender there. She's had a couple of chances like this, but you can tell that the Crusaders are just honed in on her. She's at the top of every scouting report. That's McFarland with her left foot too strong and too wide. A goal kick coming for the Crusaders. We have our first substitution of the game here with 32 and a half to go. Looks to be number 19, Emma Shearer.
Crusaders, number 19, Emma Shearer. Exiting number 8, Abby May.
Senior forward from Gastonia, just down the road.
And there's that foul that we were just talking about. Hasn't happened yet.
Goes against, I believe that was Nev Dustin. I got to say, these women's jerseys are a lot easier to see the numbers than the men's jerseys.
Yeah, the thick stripes on the men's jerseys.
They look like referees.
Mm-hmm.
And the big white numbers on North Greenville is also very much appreciated.
Yes. Allows those of us with bad eyes to see who's coming on and off.
I don't even have bad eyes. I just can't see. I just still couldn't see it. Grayson Cameron bounces on that one after not the greatest touch by Stephanie Figueredo there. Number 7 wearing the right knee brace. The opposite of Rhea Acton. Not soft-spoken, very loud-spoken, and in a good way, of course.
Absolutely. Steph is a great advocate for all of our teams here at Lenoir-Rhyne. And back to your point about soft-spoken, Grayson, who is a stellar leader from the back, she's very soft-spoken as well, but really knows how to lead and direct from that goalkeeper position.
Second time Evan O'Leary was offsides tonight. Going back to Figueredo for a second, she was on the panel. The athletic department had their kind of school year kickoff assembly on Monday, and they chose 6 of the top returning athletes across all sports. Was it 4? 4 of the top athletes, and Stephanie Figueredo was on that list.
Along with her partner in crime, Nev Dustin.
Yeah. A couple of lacrosse players there as well. Men's lacrosse. Obviously national runners-up a year ago. So we're 15 minutes in. Bears have had some chances but haven't been able to execute close to the goal. Ball has been in this third of the field pretty often. Good feed there to Proessel, who had the first goal, the game-winning goal at Pembroke on Saturday. 2 freshmen that were playing their first ever collegiate soccer games with the 2 goals for the Bears, which is surprising given all the experience back on this team.
We're going to get a Stephanie Figueredo throw in here, and these things, they go deep. You mentioned earlier, Eric, that North Greenville has a player who can throw that ball in pretty far, but Steph can throw it just as far.
She gets a running start. There's a header in front of the goal off of McFarland. Ball got tipped off of O'Leary. There's Kara Gavigan over there. Excuse me, that's not Gavigan.
I think that's Maddie Kyle.
It is Maddie Kyle, yeah. Transferred in from Campbell.
It's a good switch here. Get it out of the pressure and go right up the sideline.
Another run for Rhea Acton. Dumps it off. O'Leary on the left side pops it in. and caught in the air by Luzzy.
I think she could have taken maybe one more touch there, just get it under her feet and then get a nice ball. I think that could have set the Bears up for a goal.
She feels like one's coming.
Absolutely.
See the Bears up on the sideline there. Right behind Maddie Kyle, who logged the most minutes for the Bears in the spring, over 1,000. The only Bear over 1,000 in 11 games. It's the anchor of that defense and a South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship team. Good header from Acton.
Good composure by Mack with the defender on her hip to get that ball off.
O'Leary pushed into the corner. Sarah Adcock with some good defense there.
I wish this help came a little bit earlier so O'Leary had someone to play back to, but it worked in her favor. They're getting another throw in and can keep pushing forward.
Adcock, the defender, right in front of Stephanie Figueredo there, transferred to North Greenville from Mercer. Steph gets it off the head of the defender. McFarland goes down in the box, no call. O'Leary's shot is deflected by Robinson. So is Gavigan's. Every shot getting deflected by the Crusader defense right now, but it'll stay with the Bears. Stephanie Figueredo makes her way all the way across the field to take this one. Proessel tried the bicycle kick there. Crusaders had some trouble getting it out, but now they do. Stolen by Nev Dustin. She spins towards the sideline and centers it up. And another corner kick coming. Beautifully done there by Nev to just change that possession for the Bears. So the third corner of the first 20 minutes. Rhea Acton's taken all three of them. She'll take this one.
You see the Bears have pushed Vivian up into the box, take advantage of her height and maybe get her on a header in here.
She comes in.
Oof.
Proessel's header was going to go wide, but it was kept alive by North Greenville. Acton gets it taken. She got surrounded by three defenders, but the Bears will still have it.
I think if Leone had just let that one go, it would have made its way right to Becker's foot and could have put one away. But again, the opportunities for the Bears are endless right now. We just need to put one in the back of the net.
McFarland. Figueredo knocks it out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Crusaders. But very much a bend but don't break defensive mentality right now for North Greenville, and seem to be playing with fire a little bit. It's a good run for Contreras that gets stopped. McFarland battles near the center stripe but can't win it.
And this is where the Bears need to look to switch the point of attack. Lots of congestion over on the far side. Pull that out, bring it around the back line and into this space.
It's Ina Molinar-Serra. Defender who had a great game against Pembroke. Drove 18 from 118 to the other. Gary Higgins says that Molinaire Sarah, the woman with the ball right now, is maybe the best one-on-one player they have on this team.
I love how any Bears defender can just take the ball forward and know that their teammates are going to have their back there. And
here she is, but her shot gets blocked that time. Good play by Emma Shearer, the sub that just checked in, as Gavigan got really deep on top of Luzzy there, but another missed opportunity offensively for the Bears. They've had 3 or 4 high-quality scoring chances in this first half. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard, and now what a play there by Peralta.
it shows her athleticism.
Figueredo lets it go, thinking O'Leary was behind her. She wasn't, but Acton takes it right back. Figueredo's having some trouble with her shoe. She's been on one knee trying to tie her shoe for the better part of 30 seconds.
That's a good idea there from Nev, trying to play through the back line, but unfortunately they were off Gavigan. Would have been a better ball right to her feet so she can take it and go forward.
It's another sub for North Greenville coming in. It's Kayla Cruz, senior from Clover, South Carolina. McFarland boxes out. Sprinkle there for that ball.
A little too strong on that pass across the field to Gavigan, though.
See some Bears on the sideline running up and down. Scarlett Kelly, one of those who didn't start the other night, didn't start today, but expect to see her at some point. Things clumped up in front of the Bears bench over there, and a bad turnover. Here comes Nev Dustin trying to get past the defender. She can't. Cut off by Robinson into the corner. And good defense there from the Crusaders after Robinson turned it over. She didn't let Dustin get past her, and it will stay with the Bears on a throw-in deep in the corner. Another substitute. Actually, no substitute. Somebody at the table, but is there a reason, Danny, why
it's our throw-in?
So they can only sub on your own throw-in?
Correct.
Rhea Acton didn't get all of that.
Unfortunate.
As Luzzy pounces on it, but she had a good opportunity and just kind of, she didn't whiff on the swing, but didn't get the contact she wanted.
Yeah, not as clean a look as I think she was hoping for. Nice by Mac. Good way to get ahead on that. Looks like an offsides call there. Pretty close. Probably on her way back when the ball was released off of Amanda's head, so just catching her offsides.
First Bears substitution is waiting to come in as well. Nev Dustin with a good header there. Gavigan has to catch up.
The Crusaders doing a good job working it out of pressure and then looking just to shift the defense and get it back in. Holding on to possession here. The thing about this Lenoir-Rhyne defense is as soon as you have the ball, they're on you. They give no breathing room, so it makes it really hard for the opposing team to get the ball and move it through because they're on you as soon as you touch it.
Haven't said Faith Nodler's name. She was by far the leading scorer on North Greenville last year. had 10 goals in 11 games as Jessica Carmichael checks in. She played 16 minutes in the opener, didn't start. But Carmichael was the one that started the first goal at Pembroke. She came in and provided a big spark off the bench as the goal was scored by Proessel.
That was really smart by Rhea. You know, they had the opportunity to counter there as North Greenville was pushed up into their third a little bit, but they had no option. So, you know, slow it down, bring it back, and let your team get up and out.
18 minutes to go here in the first half on a Wednesday night at Moretz Sports Complex. Heine not able to hold on to that one. Upset with herself. Slowly but surely, North Greenville has put a little bit more offensive pressure on the Bears as this half has gone along. Got off to a fairly dreadful start offensively. The ball was in their defensive third for the first 15, 20 minutes of this game.
Yeah, they seem to be settling in a little bit more, being able to connect on passes. But like I was saying, Bears defense gets on you right away, so you have to get the ball and know what's going on around you and get rid of that. Get it off your foot really quickly.
It's a big throw in there, and Grayson Cameron scoops it up. She's so good at timing when she is going for it. But timing is everything as a goalkeeper, and Grayson Cameron has picked her spots perfectly tonight as she did on Saturday at Pembroke.
Good job, Kayla!
Contreras takes it from Peralta down there. Only one shot on goal so far for the Crusaders. See if they can get another here. Maddie Kyle says no, but it's back to the Bears. It's turned into a really pleasant night. We were worried for the past couple days and this morning that this game might not get in, but it's cooled off. The breeze has picked up these past 15 or so minutes. Can't ask really for a better night if you're a player.
Absolutely not. This is great soccer weather, and like you said, you know, with the breeze coming in, it cools it off just a little bit more. Lack of humidity is good, and you know, just hoping that rain continues to hold off, not to jinx us or anything.
Well, we've said it enough now that if the jinx is in, if that's how it works. Alyssa Mendez is into the game for North Greenville. That pass was just a little bit too far for her. And O'Leary physical with Mendez, and it goes back to North Greenville.
That was a great shield there by North Greenville, just keeping O'Leary off of the ball and letting it roll out of bounds so they can get the turnover.
Sarah Hazelwood, center back, running the defense for North Greenville. Kept the Bears off the scoreboard through 30. Trying to get on themselves is Becker Peralta. She's just so physically imposing there at the center back. It's hard to do anything around her.
Absolutely. That was a great tackle and another great ball. Just tipped by North Greenville there, but the Bears will continue their push forward into the final third.
I'm sure if we talk to Gary Higgins right this second, he would say that they left a lot of opportunities out there in this first half offensively, and we have our first foul of the game on North Greenville, I think, or is that on the Bears? I think it is on North Greenville.
Definitely think it's on the Crusaders, pulling O'Leary down there. And this is dangerous. This is what you want. With 14 minutes left in the first half, you have a Rhea Acton free kick from the side, set up just like a corner kick. You can really pack the box in here, and this could be dangerous.
They do pack the box. Figueredo, Proessel, Gavigan, Becker Peralta's up. Acton bloops it in off the head of Becker Peralta and a goal kick. And another sub coming in for the Crusaders. But 3 corners for Rhea Acton. That was a de facto corner kick right there. And really, the Bears' best chances haven't even come off of those opportunities. As Victoria Valentine, senior midfielder from Fort Myers, checks in. You ever been to Fort Myers?
I have not been to Fort Myers.
I went for the first time this winter. Beautiful.
Yeah?
Got to go in January, though, because it's too far south in the summer.
It gets too hot.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
Not that it's, cool here in the summer in North Carolina.
No, the humidity does it here for us, for sure.
Contreras with her hair on fire there on that far side. Tries to center it up. Does so successfully.
I know there to clean that up, though.
Even if one defender for the Bears gets beat, you know that the other 2 are going to be right in position to pick her up.
Absolutely. That back line is strong. Even with Becker in there as a freshman, she doesn't play like a freshman.
No.
At all. She looks like a seasoned vet back there, and like I said earlier, really stepping in and filling the shoes of Alicia Cruz.
Figueredo gets fouled there, right at midfield. Rhea Acton. Always 3 gray jerseys around her. Ina tries to tip it in.
Oh, what a great touch. Fortunately, can't get the shot off there, but that was a great takedown.
Went off the throat. Megan Beal. Captain for the Crusaders.
There goes Carmichael's. Lots of time. Defender giving her some good space.
Carmichael just in the game. Maybe the freshest legs on the field for the Bears.
Maybe Grayson Cameron.
Maybe Grayson Cameron. Is there running subs on and off are the Crusaders. Seen a lot of players used in this first half by head coach Andy Robinson.
Now entering for the Crusaders, number 20, Molly Platt. Exiting number 23, Sarah.
Molly Platt checks in.
And also entering number 16, Shelby Shepard.
Along with Shelby Shepard. Platt from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Shepard from Johns Creek, Georgia. One thing about this North Greenville roster, there's not a whole lot of players. There's a lot of diversity on the roster up and down from the United States. Here's a easily the best opportunity offensively, but Grayson Cameron has no issue with that shot.
Oh, that's an easy one right to her hands.
Off the foot of Shelby Shepard.
Eric, I'm interested to see, since North Greenville has made all of these subs in the first half, do those fresh legs help them in the final 10 minutes here, or are the Bears conditioned enough to hold off those fresh legs?
Gary Higgins said he was pleased with their conditioning on Saturday.
They don't seem to be slowing down here
Nope.
at all. So
we'll see if it holds true today.
Absolutely.
Here's Ina trying to pick her way. Her and Rhea Acton with those wearing their hair in a bun like that look so similar.
Easy to get them confused. The bun gang.
Yeah, hair
strong.
Hair in a bun is a common hairstyle around the athletic department. My partner is part of that gang.
Sure am.
Even cuts a hole in her hats so her bun can stick out of it.
I think it's a good look for me, though.
It is. No hate. They have Dustin's shot, skips in to Lizzie Luzzy. That is one of the best names I've ever had the pleasure of saying on any airwaves. Lizzie Luzzy.
It is a fun name to say.
It's a good one.
You think you can say it 3 times fast?
She might have a chance here.
Ooh.
No call,
Definitely
some
not.
contact, but I don't think there was anything there.
No, if anything, Russell, lowered her shoulder just a little and gave a nudge to that defender. And
The referee certainly letting the teams play here in the first half. Only I would say less than 5 combined fouls.
definitely hasn't gotten too chippy yet. Hopefully it doesn't get there.
8.5 to go here in this first half at Moretz. So happy you're spending part of your Wednesday night with us here on the Bears Sports Network. Presented by our friends at MBA Roofing. Ball goes back to the Bears there as somebody took a tumble. I think that's Faith Nodler over there. The goal scorer for the Crusaders. Becker Peralta clears that one out as it got centered by Nodler late. Throw in one of the strongest parts of North Greenville's game, according to Gary Higgins. And they'll have another chance here.
Fortunately, they haven't had too many throw-ins so far this half for them to be too dangerous. But again, it's all about taking advantage of those opportunities when they're presented.
Contreras over there, the 4'10". She's not even 5 feet tall. Has been fighting those Bear defenders on the far side all night long. Steph Figueredo will take this throw in. Tries to get it over the defender. It tips off the top of Dustin's head. Leonie Proessel's not able to chase it down. Lizzie Luzzy sends it towards the near side, but Acton not able to corral it. Another substitute coming in for the Crusaders before the throw-in coming from Alyssa Mendez. New player is Mackenzie Neff, senior from Salem, Virginia. There's a foul on O'Leary there. Maybe a little ticky-tack.
How many girls do you think they've subbed in and out?
It has to be 7 or 8.
That's what I thought.
I didn't even realize you could substitute this much.
That's what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure you're in the first half, typically you're only allowed 3 substitutions, I believe, and you're not allowed to re-enter. And then in the second half, you have a free substitution limit.
Well, obviously that would make sense, but the referees have allowed the Crusaders to come and go like it's a hockey line change.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see if they've changed that rule.
They must have, because
Yeah.
the referees wouldn't not know that rule.
You would hope. You would hope.
Peralta knocks down a Crusader in front of her bench and gets whistled. Just a little bit too aggressive on the ball there as we're at 5 minutes even to go.
Is this their first? I believe this is their first set piece. Maybe second?
If not their first, their second.
Yeah.
See what the Crusaders come up with. Got 5 people on the edge of the 18.
Shelby Shepard, she is tall.
Figueredo. Go ahead. Sorry, Danny.
No, I was just going to say that Shelby Shepard gives them a lot of height in the box on those set pieces, and if they can get it on her head, that could be dangerous.
Shepard listed at 5'11", but she looks even maybe taller than that, at least from where we sit. She's got it right now.
Oh, that's a great ball. Unlucky, can't thread the needle there.
Maybe a chance out of it for the Bears. Evan O'Leary, the 2 freshmen, and taken out there by Alyssa Mendez. O'Leary a little slow to get up. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I think that was a lucky call for the Bears.
Yeah.
O'Leary could have slowed that down a little, let us get numbers up, because it was 2v5 going on 6.
Looked pretty clean from Mendez, too. A lot of ball, maybe a little bit of leg.
Yeah. I think they just got kind of caught up in each other, but we'll see if the Bears can capitalize here. Oof.
Shot from Nev Dustin goes wide, but Luzzy looked like she had her post covered. 3.5 to go here in the first half. Bears have got to feel pretty good about where they are, but maybe a little bit disappointed in themselves offensively. Grayson Cameron has yet to face a real challenging shot. She's made a couple of saves when shots on goal, but they've been fairly simple.
Good move there on the wing.
It's Kayla Cruz, but her pass went not too far. Yes, too far. Yeah, but nifty move for Cruz there right in front of the Bear bench.
It looked like for a second that Cameron was going to take a quick goal kick, but she slows it down a little, lets her team get up. Looks like she's waving. Go ahead.
I was just saying, Crusaders are putting a little pressure on her.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that a whole lot as Acton gets it up ahead to O'Leary.
But I'm curious to see, is that going to open things up on the offensive end for the Bears, give them a little bit more space to find those through balls.
Back to North Greenville. O'Leary can't believe it. O'Leary's feisty. She's playing this near side and maybe not playing within herself as much as she should be here in this first half. But you're the expert. That's just my observation.
I think she's playing well. I think, like you said, she's definitely a feisty player. And in her first start, I think she's playing very well, and the game will kind of come to her. The collegiate game is a lot faster than high school or even some clubs. So, getting her feet under her and getting these opportunities early in the season to see a lot of minutes and even start is a good way to calm those nerves.
You score a goal and put 5 shots on goal in your first collegiate game, you get the start in your next game.
You're definitely doing something right. That's what you get.
It's kind of how it works, right? She pokes that one between the legs of Ansley Robinson, but it'll go back to North Greenville as we're just over a minute to go in the first half.
It's a good touch there by Faith Nodler.
1 minute remaining.
1 minute to go. Bears trying to get one last push here before the half.
Carmichael is wide open on that far side. Defender is really pushing high, and that would have been a great opportunity to switch it to her, but
Nev Dustin will take it. Bears putting as many bodies as they can in front of her with 30 seconds to go in the half. Peralta's header goes just wide. That was perfectly placed by Nev Dustin there. Found the tallest Bear in the box. Can't ask for any more than that.
That's probably one of the best free kicks that the Bears have had this half. Runs were on point, got some good contact on it, and hopefully moving into the second half, we can capitalize on a few more of those shots.
Halftime is here. North Greenville fights off a lot of quality offensive chances for the Bears there in that first half. Same score that we saw at halftime of the Bears' first game. No score. Bears put 2 up in the second half to take a Game 1 win. Trying to do the same here in their second game and home opener. Second half coming up from Moretz in just under 15 minutes. Halftime on the Bears Sports Network.
knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found an expert for my heart.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Second half about to roll here from the Moretz Sports Complex, the campus of Lenoir-Rhyne University. The Bears Sports Network presented by MBA Roofing. North Greenville and the Bears played a scoreless first half. The Bears had 16 shots in that first half, but the only number that matters, a 0 on the scoreboard. Trying to change that here in the second. Have a Mayer with a good defensive play there for North Greenville to keep it out.
And I'm sure during their halftime talk, Coach Gary Higgins really honed in on those 3 keys to the games. Looking to switch the ball a little bit more, and then really looking to finish in the final third. You know, like you said, the Bears had 16 opportunities to score in the first half, and it's 0-0. So really important here that they put one in the back of the net as we move throughout the second half.
The weather situation has turned a little dicier. It's dark because it's night, but the clouds are dark all around us here in Hickory. So McFarland tries to fight. Proessel as well. Dustin wasn't able to keep that close to her. Maddie Kyle tips it over to her teammate Figueredo. And O'Leary got a good look at it. Unlikely look at it, but she sailed it way high of the crossbar.
And just a little bit under the ball there. Didn't get a clean shot at the back of it. If she had made some contact, that would have been a dangerous shot.
I would say O'Leary and Acton have been the 2 Bears offensively that have had the highest quality chances. Pass a little bit too wide for Proessel there.
Got Gavigan back in the game for the Bears.
Yeah, she checked out late in the first half. Well, not very late. 15-ish minutes to go in the first half.
Conserve those legs for the second half.
North Greenville looking for their first win of the season. Drawn and lost in their first 2. This is in front of the net. Gavigan off her left foot. Just over the crossbar. Not sure Lizzie Luzzy would have had a good opportunity to save that one. Another turnover near midfield for the Crusaders. Comes Ina. Stephanie Figueredo, who tries to turn it. Saved by Luzzy, and a corner coming for the Bears. But you said it, a good turn there from Steph Figueredo. 4th corner of the game for the Bears. Rhea Acton has taken all of them. Here she comes, just over 3 into the second half. In the middle, off ahead of a Crusader defender. Looks like Elaney Sprinkle that got the side of her noggin on that one. But it stays in the Bear offensive zone. Smart move there for the Crusaders to just clear it. It's a fight for the ball with Ina. And Contreras, the 4'10" winger, who is I would say Contreras has been maybe the best offensive player in this game for North Greenville.
Absolutely.
That one off the speaker on the light post.
Over on top of the shed that goes.
Throw in coming on the far side.
Nice header away by Nev.
There's a turn in the middle, and Grayson Cameron slides in and makes a nice save. She knows exactly when to make her move.
And a nice quick release there, getting it out of the box and under the feet of Maddie Kyle. Little turnover there by the Bears. And Megan Beal will take a shot from way outside the 18. Sails right into Grayson Cameron's hands.
We're 5 minutes into the second half. Couple of decent chances for the Bears to start. There's Vivian Becker-Peralta, freshman center back. Gets it swiped there by Natalie Johnson. See if the Crusaders can get a run. This is the captain, Megan Beal. Gets it in the middle and way offside is Faith Nodler.
That's probably one of the best looks that the Crusaders have gotten
easily
this evening, though. It was a great ball out to the wing and a wonderful cross into right inside the middle of the box, but unfortunately she's offsides, and it'll be another turnover for the Crusaders and an opportunity for the Bears to counter.
She's a goal scorer, though, Faith Nodler, so, those good attacking goal scorers are always kind of living on the edge of the offside line, and she was just a little bit too far that time.
Definitely a fun place to be. Take your chances when you can.
You were a midfielder, weren't you?
I played a little bit of midfield, a little bit of forward. Love to mess around with the offsides line, push the buttons when I could.
For that school down the road in Charlotte, Bears fans know all about Queens, team that the Bears beat in the SAC tournament this past spring.
That was a good game to watch. That overtime winner from Nev Dustin.
Speaking of Nev, there she is.
I'd say she takes advantage there. A little bit of a rough patch for the Bears, bouncing it back and forth. And
Gavigan intercepts that one, but Sarah Hazelwood, who started and came out, and there's a foul on Leonie Proessel. But we saw those wholesale substitutions for North Greenville head coach Andy Robinson in the first half. A lot of the Crusaders' legs have to be a little bit fresher than the Bears, who have played all now 50-plus minutes of this game.
But as you alluded to earlier, the Bears are in great shape, and I think it's going to take a lot for them to get those tired legs, and they can replace with just as strong of legs if someone needs to come out of the game.
Maddie Kyle take the throw-in, logged the most minutes for the Bears last season. And substitution as Scarlett Kelly comes in for Proessel.
There are those fresh legs up top for the Bears.
Scarlett, very creative. Best on the team, according to her coaching staff, at drawing PKs. She's very aggressive in the box. That's maybe the jolt of energy that the Bears need offensively to push themselves over the top. Here comes Steph Figueredo.
Smart choice to slow it down, let Gavigan get ahead of her, and it's a nice ball that she can get her foot on.
She does that, centered up for Kelly, but good defense there by Natalie Johnson.
And that's what Gavigan's good at. Besides just having amazing speed, she can really get a good cross in no matter what pressure is on her.
Another corner coming. But Kelly was in perfect position there. Rhea Acton, another chance for a corner.
Ooh.
It's headed by Gavigan, right back to Acton. Centers it up again. Gavigan can't get a foot on it, but getting a foot on it is Evan O'Leary.
What a strike for
Top
the Bears.
shelf. And the Bears finally break through.
That was a beautiful strike from O'Leary. Looked like it went right in the right upper 90.
No chance that time for Lizzie Luzzy to make the stop.
Not.
Bears finally create some offense off the corner. O'Leary's got 2 of the 3 Bear goals this season.
And here's your replay brought to you by Spangler Restoration. You can see the Bears' first goal of the game.
It was a beauty. Thought Gavigan might have a chance at it at first, but it squirted through, and O'Leary did not miss it on the big leg swing. Crusaders trying to answer back. Perfect play there by Nev Dustin. And a foul on Peralta. So after the foul on Peralta, Ansley Robinson will take the kick and a set coming up for the Crusaders, trying to tie things up. Goes a little bit too high. Decent look at it. The 36-minute mark of the second half. Freshman Evan O'Leary got the second insurance goal at Pembroke on Saturday. Gets the first. Kind of a hold there by Sprinkle, and it gets called. You talk about Evan O'Leary. Coaches talked to him today, said she's always in the right place at the right time, and that was certainly the case there.
Absolutely. Perfect spot right outside the 18. Just ready for it and just pelted that ball right back in as the defense started to shift. See if the Bears can capitalize here. Great
Dustin
run.
feeds it in, and Figueredo just missed it.
That was a great run by Steph, streaking right across the box. Missed it by a hair off her foot.
Perfect feed there by Nev Dustin as McFarland will check out.
Looks like Abby Biddle will check in.
Yep. Thought she might start tonight. There was whispers of that, but she gets in here, 32 to go, and a 1-0 Bear lead.
What's great about the Bears, though, is you can have these girls come off the bench that could step into the starting lineup whenever you needed them to. It just shows the depth that they have.
And that depth that the young players have provided. There's another strike from O'Leary that didn't have a chance. But now, if you're the Bears, how does the mindset change? You know, you're pushing and pushing for your first goal. Now that you have the lead, is it a little bit of a weight off your shoulders now offensively?
I think it's a little bit of a weight, but there's still a lot of time left in the game. There's just over 31 minutes left to go. Getting another insurance goal would be really nice. You know, give yourself some type of cushion. Because, I mean, as soon as the Crusaders score, you know, you're back to 0-0.
Yeah. Good run there by Gavigan. Didn't have much insurance in front of the net, and Luzzy was able to fairly easily pick it up. I don't think, for those that follow this team, I don't think many people would have had Evan O'Leary scoring 2 of the first 3 goals of the season for the Bears.
Definitely not on the scouting report.
Here's a shot from Dustin that goes wide. I think she knew it was not good off the bat.
Yeah, she seemed a little bit behind the ball, which created the bad contact. If she had gone a little bit closer, she could have lifted it off the ground, gotten a better hit on the ball, but the Bears continue to push here, looking for that second goal.
Maybe an opportunity here for North Greenville.
It was a good push by the Crusaders, but the speed on the Bears, they can track down any ball or catch up to any ball that they really need to, even if they get behind.
Kayla Cruz checks back in for North Greenville. Looking for their first win. Not a great place to come if you're a road team looking for your first win. Scary Higgins said before the season when we had him on Bears Talk Live, he talked about the tradition he's built in this program. Well, not just him, but his players and coaches. And every time a road team, it doesn't happen very often, but every time a road team comes in here and steals one from the Bears, they act like they won the World Cup. It's the kind of mentality you want people to have coming in here. Such a tough place for opponents to win.
I remember when we made the trip to Hickory when I was playing at Queens.
Yeah.
The bleachers were not in yet.
Yeah, this is fairly new setup here that we've got going.
The bleachers were not in. And the student section lined the field on the grass, and it was loud, and you didn't want to be on this side of the field because they would get in your ear.
It's got to be pretty unique. I mean, that setup was. I mean, now, you got to have bleachers at this point, but.
Oh, what a beautiful switch there. Gets caught.
Abby Biddle, just off the bench, wins that one.
That was a good look. Switch complete.
Now Gavigan almost had one goal earlier in this spot. Centers it up. And it's too far, but a header that's stopped by Luzzy. Wow, that didn't look like they had a great angle down there.
I'm surprised she didn't try and knock that back towards the PK spot just a little bit, so someone running into the box had a better angle, but still a dangerous look from the Bears.
Is that O'Leary down there?
I believe so, yes.
I think it was.
Yeah, I believe so.
Scarlett Kelly was further back, so that's probably the best save that Lizzie Luzzy's made. And the first corner of the game now coming up for North Greenville. Bears have had 5 of them.
Another Crusader substitution here.
I think that's Shelby Shepard coming back in.
I believe so. I think the legs gave it away.
Yep. Shepard stands taller than the rest of her teammates out there, that's for sure. Time ticking away. Under 27.5 to go in this one. Goal about 10 minutes ago for the Bears gave them the 1-0 lead. But that one gets into the back of the net. Megan Beal, the captain, ties it up at 1 with just under 27.5 to go.
You don't see that too often, scoring straight off the corner kick, but that snuck right in near post. I'm curious to see if anyone got a foot on that or if it just, kind of curved in right in front of Grayson Cameron.
It was Megan Beal. They have officially given credit to her for the goal. And on their first corner of the game, North Greenville ties it up at 1.
And Eric, this goes along with what you just asked me about, what do you do in this situation if you're the Bears, and the Crusaders are right back in it. So really important that
one's off the side of the post on the center from Gavigan. So
really important that Lenoir-Rhyne keeps that foot on the gas and puts another one in the back of the net.
Potentially maybe dealing with some weather here in the not-so-distant future as well.
It's rolling, and you can feel the breeze start to pick up. Weather's cooling down.
Haven't felt any rain yet, but know that it's coming. Maddie Kyle Can't win that one from Contreras. Look at her fight it down the sideline. Shepard just a step behind that feed.
That was a great run, great ball, right between the back line. Can't ask for anything better.
I'm so impressed by Contreras.
Yeah, she is what's keeping this Crusader team in the game, minus the goal.
The first corner of the game, they didn't have one in the first half, went almost 20 minutes in the second half without having one. Nets the tying goal for North Greenville.
And it looks like the Crusaders are packing the Bears' final third a little bit more. Seem to have a few more numbers back than they did in the first half, just to kind of clog up those passing lanes. It's making it really difficult for Lenoir-Rhyne to thread the needle and connect.
Probably got tired of playing defense. And their whole, I would say out of the 45 minutes of the first half, 30 minutes were spent down in the Bears' offensive zone.
Yeah.
Two goals less than 10 minutes apart. First by Lenoir-Rhyne at the 36-minute mark by Evan O'Leary. Then the equalizer by the captain, senior Megan Beal from Lenexa, Kansas. Had 3 goals in the shortened spring season. Picks up her first of this 2021 campaign.
The Bears are really struggling to keep possession of the ball, and this is the time where they need to stay disciplined. They need to play their game. They need to connect on those passes and look to switch the point of attack, even if it's pulling it out of that clog in the middle of the field, playing it over their back line or even to their goalkeeper, just to get the defense moving and out of that tight space.
It's a fight on the far side that ends up in the hands of the Crusaders. And Alyssa Mendez will take the throw in. Ina Molinaire-Serra heads that one out of bounds, and Shepard has it back. But O'Leary takes it from her.
There. And they can't squeak that long switch across the field to Gavigan.
And we have Lightning. We've seen Lightning around us, but apparently it's gotten too close for the referees or the athletic trainers' liking. So with 23-29 to go here in this tie game, we have entered into a lightning delay just when things were getting good.
I know. And the lightning delay will be just about as long as the rest of the second half would be.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes after every strike. So got to have quite a while as the breeze is picked up. It just feels like there's a storm coming.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the teams will head into the locker room. Fans will head over to Schufer Gymnasium or their cars to avoid the storm here. And we're going to take a short break. We'll keep you updated. And you can check in on Twitter at LR Bears for updates throughout the lightning delay. And hopefully we'll be back with you soon.
Lightning delay. We'll take a break with 23.5 to go in a tie ball game here in Hickory.
Play will resume after a 10-minute warm-up period.
And we're back after about a 45-ish minute rain delay with 23:20 left to go. We're back rolling, tied up at 1. A couple of goals within the last 15 minutes of gameplay. First by the Bears and Evan O'Leary. Second by the Crusaders and Megan Beal. Tied things up here at 1. Both teams trying to get off to a good start here. Kind of a different... It's a 23-minute game at this point. Becker Peralta dumps it off for Gavigan in the corner. She gets past one. Centers it. And it's tipped around in front. How did it stay out? O'Leary sent it off a defender. And somehow this game remains tied as it goes back to the Crusaders. But, Danny, this is a unique situation. It's a 22-minute game. You know, it's a 1-1 tie. You go into a lightning delay, and now it's best of 23 minutes.
And that warm-up period was not long at all, just enough to get your legs loose. So, really going to see who can step up and...
Bears had sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Bears had a great chance right there. Couple of deflections, and Lizzie Luzzy was able to keep the ball out of the goal. O'Leary very nearly had her second goal of the game for the Bears. This one chipped in off the chest of Rhea Acton. Hardly said Faith Nodler's name tonight. Double-digit goal scorer from a year ago. This is Abby Biddle, who had just checked into the game before the lightning delay. Dumps it off ahead to O'Leary, but too far, and a throw into the Bears. It's actually kind of raining now. It wasn't raining when we stopped, and now it is raining when we've restarted. Obviously, it was a lightning delay and not a rain delay, but it's not much rain to speak of, just enough to...
Just a light sprinkle.
Just enough to have you notice it. Here's a header that's kept out of the box by the Crusaders. Nev Dustin not able to run it down.
Lucky to get a touch on that, though, and nick it a little so Maddie could get some sort of control, but she passes it out of bounds.
The Bears get it right back as Gavigan turns the Crusaders over, but getting it right back is Contreras. She was on the top of the scouting report for Gary Higgins, was Contreras, 4'10" winger. Great defense there by Ina Moliner-Serra. She runs with it.
That looks like Rhea.
It is Rhea. Told you they look alike.
They do. It's a bun. Oh, what
Gavigan gets around. Does she get in the middle? She does, but there's a defender right there. No Bear in the right position there. This one's centered back up.
A little late by Abby getting into the box.
Scarlett Kelly! Oh, I thought that might sneak inside that goalpost. Just a little bit wide.
That was a great look by Scarlett, though. Right place, right time. Great pace on the shot. Just couldn't put it away.
Addie Kelly puts pressure. Under 20 to go. North Greenville has already played one overtime game this year. It was double overtime, a 2-2 draw on their opener with Lander.
And there's the switch they've been trying to get right before the lightning delay. They couldn't quite squeak it through, but it goes through right to Kara Gavigan. Sets them up for a great cross here.
Gavigan give and go with Maddie Kyle. She tries to center one. She does. Almost an own goal there as the defender was dangerously close to knocking it into her own net. It was Alyssa Mendez down there in front of the goal. Ooh, that was a big flash. can go on with lightning being seen. It's just a matter of how close the lightning is to the venue. So the reason we stopped was that it got close enough. Apparently it's blown over us enough to restart. People with more power than us making those decisions.
Looking at the radar, it looked like two big storms on the north and the...
Ooh, Gavigan centers it. It snuck through. She's been so effective with that. Here's Maddie Kyle. Biddle is able to run it down.
A little bit too strong on that pass into Kelly.
Kelly couldn't decide where she wanted to position herself to receive that pass. Maddie Kyle, senior from High Point. Haven't heard much from Rhea Acton in this half. Grayson Cameron will take care of this one herself. Allowed her first goal of the season.
This is a good take.
Molinaire Sarah not able to finish it.
It's that awkward position of I have the space. Should I continue to take it and draw a defender, or should I see if I can play it through to my teammate?
Maddie Kyle and Nodler got tangled up there and ended up going down. No whistle. See if Steph Figueredo can lead the Bears here offensively to get this game-winning goal in the last 16. Contreras just picks her way through 3 defenders and has a good run here.
She's so small, she can really just be ticky-tacky with the ball through all the defenders.
Nev Dustin sticks her foot in the passing lane. Contreras is as pesky as they come. Nev Dustin's had a strong game, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's been pretty solid in the middle part of the field, really holding it down for the Bears and not really letting much past her.
One North Greenville goal in this game came on their lone corner kick. It was back around the 27-minute mark. We're at the 15-minute mark right now. 15 minutes left to decide this one in regulation. Once again, lots of substitutions for the Crusaders. I used the hockey analogy earlier, but it's really true. It's like they're having line changes.
Yeah, I still never got a read on that rule. At least in the first half. I know in the second half, typically it's a free range of subs.
Sprinkle is back in.
Oh.
That one too far for Gavigan. It's been a microcosm of the night right there for the Bears. Good aggression, good effort, good opportunities, but just haven't been able to make the most out of a lot of them. Only the one goal from O'Leary.
Connecting on those passes has really been a drawback for the Bears and led to a good bit of turnovers.
That was one of the keys of the game, was precision in passing. And I would think that Gary Higgins would say that they haven't quite reached where they want to be in that department quite yet.
I would agree.
Good touch there from Kelly. She went down, and Contreras wins it. This game ends up a loss for the Bears or a draw. You go back to that play that Kelly just missed the post by mere inches a few minutes ago right after the restart. Played about 10 minutes since about a 45-minute Lightning delay. Here's O'Leary. She's got the one goal.
Not very many options in the box.
She turns it over, but Dustin gets it right back, and she fires errantly high. Not even close. See if North Greenville tries to go quickly. It looks like they will.
Nice little ball over.
Yeah, great ball there. Not able to run it down is Cruz, who checked back into the game after being subbed out earlier.
Great shield there by Leone.
Leone Proessel.
Holds on to it just a little bit too long there.
Ina gets beat initially. See if Nodler can make something happen. She cannot. Goal kick coming for the Bears. Grayson Cameron, native of Hickory, started her collegiate career at NC State. Ended up coming back home to her hometown school, Lenoir-Rhyne, here in Hickory. It's the unquestioned vocal leader of this team as she runs the back end of the team. Just gave up her first goal of the year just over 10 minutes ago. Pass is intercepted there by Cruz.
Cruz has done a great job of stopping that switch over to Gavigan. I think that's about the third or fourth ball she's intercepted.
Nev Dustin.
There it is.
Tries to dump it into Gavigan. Can she run this one down? She couldn't get to the last one. Hazelwood beats her there, and they say it's off the Bears. A lot of the crowd returned. A little bit surprised, honestly. I think with a 45-minute Lightning delay on a Wednesday night, not a lot of people would return, but still about the same number of people that were here when the Lightning first hit.
Everyone loves the Bears.
Number 11 team in the country in action in their home opener. Should be a huge upset win for North Greenville. Kind of get their season back on track. They got whipped by Furman 5-0 their last time out.
Yeah, it would be a great way for them to bounce back and really kickstart, like you said, kickstart their season before going into conference play. But then on the flip side, for the Bears, keep this momentum going, especially into Friday's game against Florida Tech.
Yeah, quick turnaround for the Bears who have to travel tomorrow down to Florida. Bear volleyball team also traveling to Florida for a tournament. That'll be their season opener.
Oh, that's a great tackle by Vivian Becker. And the Bears look to counter here.
Stephanie Figueredo. If there's anyone in this game that deserves a goal, it's Contreras for North Greenville. Nifty move there by O'Leary. Already has one goal. Gets into the box.
Just got to get it off your foot quicker.
Back to Nev Dustin. She gets bumped and fouled.
That's a good call by the referee.
Nev trying to stretch herself out. We're at 9.5 to go.
This is a dangerous spot for the Bears. You have Rhea Acton, you have Nev Dustin, who can all hit that ball from outside the box, right on frame.
Are my eyes deceiving me, or is Rhea Acton not on the field right now?
No, she is. She is right by the referee.
Oh, I see her. Yep. There's a shot by Nev that was the right height. Last time she was too high, but this time she's too wide. There's Rhea. Should have just looked for the bun.
Might have gotten her confused with Ina.
That's true. Or you.
I'm over here, though.
You're right next to me. Here's a good chance. for the Crusaders, and Cameron stops it. Oh, that was the go-ahead goal right there.
Absolutely.
And Grayson Cameron sticks her leg out, and it goes off of her knee just wide. But a corner coming for the Crusaders. They scored their only goal on their only corner earlier this half.
Grayson Cameron does such a good job reading those balls, comes out just enough and gets a body part on it just to knock it wide, even if it's a Crusader corner. You know, that was a great read on the ball.
Here it comes. It gets headed out of there initially, and Figueredo clears it for O'Leary. O'Leary goes down. There's nothing, no whistle. Ball's centered off of Rhea Acton's back in another corner for North Greenville.
Same side as their goal was scored on.
The exact situation. And here it comes. Cameron got her hands on it but couldn't catch it. And it goes off of the Bears and will stay in the Crusader offensive zone. It's a danger zone there for Cameron. Got up in the air, bodies all around her.
Really was. Smart move by Gavigan, though, to just get the ball out of bounds, even if it turns into a Crusader throw-in.
Maddie Kyle spins that one. That was well done.
Yeah, but Bears don't have anyone up. Right into the North Greenville defenders.
Peralta misses the header. Now Proessel trying to start something with Scarlett Kelly, who makes one defender miss. Chips it ahead to O'Leary. Can she run it down? Looks like she can. Into that far corner. Fighting with Pagliaro, and she gets called for the foul.
Yeah, she is not pleased with that call.
She's letting the referee know about it, too. Wow.
Super unfortunate for the Bears.
See Gary Higgins pacing the sideline down there. Tonight has probably not gone the way he envisioned it going.
Definitely not.
But still, with under 6 to go in a tie ball game, it's better to play well and win or draw or to not play well and win or draw than it is to not play well and lose on your home field.
Absolutely, especially in your home opener.
The Bears have to turn around quickly and play a really good Florida Tech opponent in less than 48 hours, down in Florida.
Is it me, Eric, or did we really come out with some fire at the start of this after the lightning delay, and we've kind of dropped off a little bit?
Yeah, the Bears certainly seem to be the aggressor coming out of the lightning delay. And
after Kelly's chance, you know.
Ever since then, it's kind of flipped.
Yeah.
North Greenville has certainly weathered the storm tonight. No pun intended. Peralta gets a nice header. Maddie Kyle surrounded by Crusaders. Nifty move there from Gavigan. See if Scarlett Kelly, that back line after they got off to such a shaky start tonight. If North Greenville ends up winning this game, it should be the effort of keeping the Bears off the board early is probably the reason why.
Absolutely, and like you were saying, their defense has really stepped up in the second half. Their back line's playing a little bit higher, putting a little bit more pressure on the Bears' front line, and really doing a good job of getting into those passing lanes.
Getting to crunch time now, under 4. Proessel. Not a good feed to Nev Dustin, who has to run it down. She'll be headed back to her home state of Florida tomorrow. native of Palm City. That should be a corner for the Bears. Oh, no. They say it's off of Scarlett Kelly. Goalkeeper Lizzie Luzzy faced 16 shots in the first half. Did not give up a single goal. Only giving up one for the game. And Contreras turns that one over. 3:10 to go. Tick-tock.
Good look there.
Oh, uh-oh. Leone Proessel grabbed her knee and now is limping. But she seems to be okay. 2:40 to go. Nev Dustin will take it. Maybe the last set the Bears will get in regulation. Not a good one from Dustin.
Little low, little short. There's a good ball from Maddie Kyle. See if Nev can redeem herself here.
Doubled up. She chips it in, but right at Lizzie Luzzy.
It's not a bad ball, but no one's running in, attacking the goalkeeper. Obviously would have liked that to be a little bit farther out of Luzzy's reach, but not a bad ball. Just need some more runners in the box.
Both goalkeepers have played well tonight. Especially Luzzy, who's been busier than Cameron. But Cameron just saved the game for the Bears 10 minutes ago. Under 2. Peralta.
Oh. O'Leary was on that one, too, if it trickled through.
Just doesn't feel very comfortable offensively right now for the Bears.
Not at all. Not connecting the way you would want to be right now.
Minute and a half to go. That one's chipped back to Cameron, who hits it off the inside of her foot. Can Kyle save it? She cannot. A little bit of a panicked move there from Grayson Cameron. Probably could have picked it up and decided to just swing at it.
Did Vivian pass it back to her, though?
She did.
So if your teammate passes it back to you, you cannot pick it up, or it's a handball, and it's a free kick from wherever you picked it up inside the box.
Maybe it could have been argued that the offensive player for North Greenville...
Not the chance you want to take.
No, not at this point in the game. That's a very good point. Contreras. Under a minute to go. This is not the end of the field you want to be playing on if you're the Bears right now.
I will say, though, she could have given it a little bit stronger of a kick out of bounds.
Talking about Cameron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maddie Kyle, 30 seconds.
Scarlett,
one last run
Scarlett
for the Bears.
has a great spot right between those two defenders.
Gavigan not able to gather it. Not a good feed there from Kyle, though.
A little bit too hard.
20 seconds to go. And it looks like we're going to end regular time in a 1-1 tie.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
So a 45-minute rain delay in the middle of the second half does not yield any more goals. We've played 90 minutes. Bears won, Crusaders won. And North Greenville's headed for their second overtime game in just 3 total games this year. First time the Bears have gone to overtime in just their second game.
Well, but they finished last season in an overtime win in the SAC championship over Queens, so they're conditioned. I'm curious to see if Coach Gary Higgins leaves the same starting 11 out there, or if he looks to switch it up and get some fresh legs, especially in that midfield and forward area.
So 10 minutes, 10-minute overtime period.
Correct. Golden goal.
Sudden death, right? Golden goal. If it's still tied after that 10, they'll do
another 10.
Another 10 after a minute or two break. Golden goal at all times. So 20 more minutes max. And if we're still tied up after that, we will draw tonight.
I'll do the coin toss over there for ball inside.
Seems like the effort has been there for the Bears, but you know that Gary Higgins wanted some better execution in the home opener tonight, and that he hasn't gotten it.
No, definitely not. You know, we talked about those 3 keys before the game, and we haven't really seen the Bears fully execute them to the best of their abilities. You know, switching the ball has been really difficult, especially since that back line started to set up, and connecting on those passes has been really difficult as well for the Bears.
And credit to North Greenville. The way this game started, it looked like we were headed to a 3-0, 4-0 result here tonight if the Bears were able to take care of some business early. But
and again, back to those keys of the game, that was that third one, is finishing in the final third, and the Bears just haven't been able to capitalize on those opportunities. And like you said, they had 16 opportunities in the first half and couldn't put one away until the second.
The one goal that the Bears scored was a gorgeous goal by O'Leary. Top shelf on a side-winding kick. But North Greenville has answered the bell at every turn tonight. It's got about 2.5 minutes until sudden death overtime begins. I guess I should call it golden goal, because that's what it is in soccer.
Yeah.
I'm such a football guy.
It's okay. We'll get you with the soccer lingo.
I do like this overtime format, though. There are some overtime formats in other sports that aren't good. I mean, baseball, there is no overtime. You just play forever.
Yeah.
Same with softball. Football, you know, college football overtime was changed for the better this year, in my opinion, by making the 2-point conversion mandatory in the second overtime rather than the third. I liked that rule change. NFL overtime was brutal for years with sudden death.
Right.
You know, you win the coin toss, you basically win the game.
Right.
They've changed that a little bit. But this, I think this should stay.
Yeah.
The way that college soccer does it. 2 10-minute golden goal periods. Makes for high drama. Doesn't allow the game to drag on forever. You know, 20 minutes is not that long of a time to decide a game.
Nope.
So
just about half of a half.
Yeah, so I think college soccer's got a winning formula as far as overtime goes.
Definitely. And what I like too is that this trickles all the way up into the pros.
Yeah.
And they do it the same all the way through, both men's and women's side, so it's pretty universal.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got 10 minutes on the clock. Crusaders are ready. Bears are huddled up. Grayson Cameron and Steph Figueredo in there trying to rally the troops. It's been kind of a sleepy return after the lightning delay for the Bears as they head back the other direction. But quickly a chance here for the Crusaders, and a foul just outside the box. As
Nev is not happy about that one.
Faith Nodler, the huge goal scorer for the Crusaders, draws it. Nev's not happy with the call, you're saying?
Yeah.
Looked like a lot of ball, but Nodler gets the whistle from the referee. And
we
now
haven't seen many set pieces from the Crusaders. I think maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And this is a dangerous spot right outside the box. But
yeah, we're 30 seconds into golden goal overtime, and this is maybe the best scoring chance the Crusaders have had all night. Here it comes. Cameron saves it! Beautiful! Quite literally a game saver for Grayson Cameron. She's had a couple here late in the game.
And that's what she's good at. She always comes up and makes those big plays.
Veteran leadership in goal coming through again, but a corner coming for the Crusaders, who have put the pressure on here in the first minute of the first overtime. Cruz will take it. Cameron charges it, and it gets popped out of there, and a foul on North Greenville as Grayson Cameron's a little bit slow to get up, and the referee's on to check on her as she elevated herself into the middle of the melee there. Looks to be all right.
Probably just a little bit rattled. Those are not fun hits to take.
No. This game has gotten more physical as we've gone on. We didn't have a foul in the first probably 20 minutes of the game either way, and things have certainly tightened up here.
Oh, yeah, especially as fatigue comes and you get tired, you're going to start to get a little bit more chippy, and the pressure of the game starts to build with no score.
Rain has stopped. We were at a spitting some slight mist. I'm surprised that Ina Molinar-Serra didn't go after that one.
You and me both. I was very surprised when she stopped running. Unless there was some communication between her and Rhea on that, I would have kept going and tried to at least knock it out of bounds.
Nev Dustin got tangled up there with Nodler.
Oh, great move by O'Leary there. Just really checking into the space, coming to the ball, looking to break that line of defenders.
It's first touch in about 10 minutes for Rhea Acton just then. Gavigan on the far side, where she's been working all night.
Oh, what a move.
Gets past one defender and sets up a corner for the Bears. Easily their best scoring chance here in Golden Goal overtime number 1. Goal by Evan O'Leary at the 36-minute mark of the second half. Then the answer by Megan Beal, the 27-minute mark. Goals less than 10 minutes apart in the second half got us to where we are. Bears have had a myriad of chances. Just have not been able to put more than one past Lizzie Luzzy. This one's lofted in. It's loose in front of the net and
Kelly
cleared out of there.
Kelly got her head on that one.
It was Nodler that cleared that one out. O'Leary gets swiped there and then commits a foul.
She can't argue that one. Her arms went full extension.
She should not be arguing that one. Bit of frustration from the freshman, who has scored 2 out of the 3 goals this season for the Bears, including the one tonight, but has shown her youth at times tonight.
Absolutely.
She's going to be a really good player for...
Especially as she continues to mature on the field and mentally and physically. She'll be dangerous by the end of her career.
Kelly tries to drop it off to her.
Great shield there by O'Leary to get Dustin down the line. Fortunately.
That ball comes up into the stands. The Bears will throw it in. Bears can't let themselves get too frustrated here.
Yeah.
Playing Kelly and O'Leary especially, playing with a lot of emotion right now. Got to channel that in a way that's positive. Kelly makes something happen there and gets a corner. Under 5 to go in the first overtime. Rhea Acton, 4 game-winning goals in 11 games last spring for the Bears. Trying to add another here. Here it comes. Looks good. It's headed.
Gavigan.
Oh, just wide. That was exactly what the Bears wanted there.
Yeah. Probably some of the best contact they've had off a corner kick all night.
And Gavigan was fairly unscathed. She had a little bit of room to work.
Yeah.
Proessel had it for a moment, then lost it. Back to the Bears. Seen a lot of energy from both benches all night. No one has sat on either bench. 2 loud, passionate head coaches, Gary Higgins and Andy Robinson.
Looks like that'll be a
Yep.
Crusader goal kick.
Gavigan not able to turn it back towards the middle down in that far corner. 3.5 to go in overtime number 1. Went off the chest of Nodler and back to the Bears. Past couple minutes have more resembled the early part of this game. The Bears putting some pressure on the D. There's a steal, and now Pagliaro gets denied by Dustin. Beautiful there by Nev. Nev has been very steady tonight. Contreras.
Nice, Kayla!
If she continues to do it, just gonna switch to her.
Contreras taking on 3 Bears by herself and nearly got the ball towards Grayson Cameron. But it will still stay with the Crusaders as we're 1.5 minutes to go in overtime number 1. Golden goal here. Sudden death. Last time the Crusaders went to overtime in their season opener, they drew. That one definitely did not mean to go off of Nev Dustin. It went right off her head. She wasn't trying to head it, though. That was Proessel instead of Nev.
North Greenville doing a really good job of possessing the ball here and really controlling the tempo of play.
1 minute remaining.
Bears still looking a little rusty after the lightning delay and after that one attempt by Kelly.
The header by Gavigan, another good chance.
Yes, absolutely.
Off the corner. But other than those two, it's been it. And that's in, 30-plus minutes of gameplay now since the lightning delay that happened with 23.5 minutes to go in the second half. Back to the Bears, 30 seconds to go in overtime number 1.
Looks like Abby Biddle is back in the game.
Abby Biddle.
Yep.
Exiting number 30, Leonie Proessel.
Be some good fresh legs in that middle.
Comes in for Proessel.
Right idea by Acton, just not enough oomph on it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
5 seconds, now under 5. Overtime number 2 on the way. Almost felt like in those 10 minutes, the two teams still trying to feel each other out, it's the beginning of a game.
I'm sure some of that is also coming off of that delay and just, you get all of that momentum. Both teams had just scored.
Yep.
And you have all of that momentum and energy and fight, and then you have to go inside and you just sit for 30, 45 minutes, and then you get a 10-minute period. So I'm interested to see, what kind of energy both teams bring in this second period now that they've, got their legs back and have moved around for the past 10 minutes.
You think that anyone ate anything during that 45-minute break? Is that a little risky to do in the middle of a game when you know you're going to come back?
I don't know. I think it depends, one, what you're eating, and...
True. Probably a Big Mac is not...
Definitely not the way to go. I know you went over, you got yourself some dinner at Chick-fil-A, but hopefully they weren't eating that.
No. Yeah, if I went out there, it would not be pretty for anyone. We'd have to turn the camera away from me.
Well, good thing you're not out there
Thank
then.
goodness. Rain has stopped. It's turned into a pleasant night. I haven't seen lightning even in the distance in 15, 20 minutes. Got to get through these last 10 minutes before, 10 minutes or less, hopefully, for the Bears, before the maybe worse forecasted weather comes through later tonight. Bears trying to get pumped up in the huddle, but it seems like work tonight to just even get some energy. Sometimes it just flows naturally. It's everything that has happened for the Bears tonight that had to work really hard for.
And I wonder if that's a little bit of, nerves. First home game, and then you're starting 2 freshmen who have never played here, besides in preseason games, but in a real game, that's
2
a lot
freshmen
of
in
nerves.
crucial positions, too.
Absolutely.
Maybe a tiny bit looking past North Greenville. Huge game Friday against the top 5 team in the country. Not that North Greenville doesn't deserve all the respect in the world. They've played a great game tonight.
Absolutely. But definitely hard to not look towards Friday, and even just the travel of it all, quick turnaround like you mentioned.
That game originally, the Florida Tech game was originally scheduled for Saturday and got moved up to Friday.
Interesting.
So, because I had it in my mind that it was Saturday,
right.
And then all of a sudden,
it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was Friday. Nev Dustin starts things off in the final overtime period. Golden goal in double overtime.
That's a nice little spark of energy, too, there from Nev, coming right out of the kickoff, looking to push forward quickly. Hopefully the Bears can lock in here on defense and keep North Greenville in the middle to the attacking third.
This was the time in the game that Nev in the SAC final against your alma mater.
This was her element.
Won the game. It's a shame that they didn't get to play an NCAA tournament. Here's a good chance for the Crusaders. But blocked out of there.
Looked a little bit offsides, but I'm glad Becker was able to recover the way she did.
Yeah.
Stopped what could have turned into a really big moment for the Crusaders.
It was Emma Shearer with the chance. Senior from Gastonia. North Greenville's going to be just fine in Conference Carolinas, though.
Oh, yeah.
Came in, 5-0 against Furman looks bad, but Furman's D1. I mean, you don't want to lose a game 5-0 no matter who you're playing, no matter what level they are, what level you are. But it can be demoralizing, especially coming into this environment where not a whole lot of teams leave this pitch with a victory.
Yeah. And if they do, they fought hard for it.
And North Greenville would have earned a win tonight if they get it. Here's
Absolutely.
a corner. Wasn't off of Grayson Cameron. Might have been off of Becker Peralta.
Yeah.
To the corner. And another corner. Less than 2 minutes in to this second and final overtime here on a Wednesday night. Obviously, you want to win every game you play if you're Gary Higgins, but at this point in the game, the way that things have gone, I don't know if Gary would hate a draw.
Agreed. I think this game, win, lose, draw, however it turns out, it gives the Bears a lot to go back to the drawing board with and work through. And although they don't have a lot of turnaround time between now and Friday, they still have a whole week until they open conference play against Limestone next Wednesday. So, like I said, it gives them a lot to go back and work on, and no doubt that they will. And however this game ends up, even the girls will know, we could have played a lot better.
It's a long time in the car to think about it tomorrow, too.
Absolutely. Plane.
Are they flying?
I believe so.
I know volleyball's driving.
Volleyball is driving, yes. We got our student section over here, trying to get a little bit of life in the Bears.
Most of the men's soccer team trying to will the Bear women to victory. Ball has not been anywhere near the Crusaders' goal in this second overtime, though.
Great
Scarlett
turn.
Kelly, yep. Got boxed out there by Ansley Robinson.
Interesting to me, though, that she didn't look to turn and switch the point of attack, where most of the Lenoir-Rhyne players were on that far side of the pitch.
Six minutes to go. And is that Rhea Acton over there? Somebody's cramping up. That's
Steph.
Steph Figueredo.
But it looks like Rhea just came off, and Anna Schuler will come in.
Anna Schuler's first action of the game. Welcome to the game here. Under 6 to go in double overtime.
Crunch time.
Rhea Acton came up a little lame. She's still gingerly walking. Just maybe stretch her shoulder out.
Yeah, might
back
have gotten
there.
bonked.
Maddie Kyle.
It's a good ball up and out.
Just nobody there.
Nope. Bears are struggling a little bit with their transition.
Contreras. If there's anyone who deserves a game winner tonight, it's her. She gets fouled, making things happen. She's been doing that all night long. She was definitely on the Bears' radar coming into tonight for good reason.
Absolutely, and another dangerous look here on a free kick for the Crusaders right outside the box. A little bit different of an angle than they had at the start of the first overtime period, but still dangerous nonetheless. Cameron sets up a two-person wall.
Sprinkle will take it.
That's way up.
Way too high. Not even. Gotta give your teammates a chance there if you're Sprinkle. She didn't do it. Under 5 to go. Can point to about 3 or 4 different plays in this game, which is the case for just about every game, that decide it. Grayson Cameron's save late in regulation to keep the game tied. Can go back to Scarlett Kelly's chance. Gavigan had a couple of good chances. Acton had some early.
That's a nice bounce for Gavigan.
Yeah. See if she can do something with it on this near side.
Those wheels of hers, you know.
She's just got such a long stride, too, and sets up a corner.
I'm interested to see who's going to take this now with Rhea out of the game.
She's taken all of the corners tonight.
Looks like Steph Figueredo will take the trot
Acton's on
over.
the bench getting wrapped up, her lower leg, by the trainer over there. She's definitely done for tonight. Figueredo, 3.5 to go in double OT. Lofts it in. Peralta, no. She's exasperated.
Right angle on the header, going down, but not the right direction.
The Bears' corners, the corners themselves have put the offense in good positions tonight. Acton's had a lot of good ones. That was a good one from Figueredo. The lone Crusader goal in this game came from a corner. Oh my. Oh my. Well, you all see what just happened. Some people in the crowd pull their phones out to light the way. Men's soccer team trying to light things up there. It's a blackout here at Moretz. It's 10 o'clock. They probably automatically turn off at 10 o'clock. Where's our boy Eddie Nickerson? Eddie finally got some privileges on his phone to be able to turn the lights on from an app on his phone. Our my roommate and our facilities and operations graduate assistant, Eddie Nickerson, who is running the show tonight.
Stellar guy.
We love him.
Does a stellar job.
Does a great job. Is the lifeline for a lot of people in this athletic department.
Absolutely. If you need something, you go to Eddie.
He's going to take care of you.
Always.
Justin Hay, his boss, congratulations to him and his wife, Allie. Just celebrated the birth of their second child, by the way, last
Scotty
week.
Birch, welcome to the Bear family.
.303 to go in the second overtime, and we're still dark.
Not much else could happen.
It probably,
tonight.
yeah, I know. Lightning delay, the lights turn off. It probably doesn't, you can't, these big lights aren't something you can just flip on and off.
Mm-mm.
So there's probably some cool down period that these lights have to have in order for them to be turned back on. Eddie is, I can see Eddie over there on the track just furiously typing on his phone. Is this a first for you? You played a lot of soccer in your life.
I have. I had this happen once at a softball game.
Okay.
That I was working at Queens, and we were playing at a park, and we had the lights on, and they go off at a certain time.
Yeah.
And they shut off on us.
This
at least
is
the game was over though when this happened.
This is the second time in 2 months this has happened to me.
Really?
I was working for my beloved Morehead City Marlins. We were in Wilmington playing the Wilmington Sharks, middle of the 8th inning. It was mid-pitch. So imagine if you're a catcher, the lights go off, and the ball's coming. Like,
ooh, that's a scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So the Marlins catcher, Zach Miller, who is a good friend and a baseball player at Catawba, so we will be seeing him later this spring, told me that he and the umpire, because those are the two guys in danger back there, when the lights go off, had to part. He said we parted like the Red Sea when the lights went out and the ball was coming.
Well, I'm going to step off, make sure that Eddie is good to go.
Okay.
So I will be right back, and you are in the great hands of Eric Buck.
You can hear the men's soccer team to my left trying to keep the energy up. The lights, so there's a light, there's lights on the back side of the light post to the camera's right, and the lights on the wrong side are on. The lights facing the road, which is 8th Avenue behind me. So 8th Avenue is properly lit up, but the field is not. 3:03 to go. So we mentioned the Bears heading to Florida Tech. Then they come back home a week from tonight to play Francis Marion, which is another Conference Carolinas opponent. Coming to Hickory from Florence, South Carolina, home of the Florence now. It used to be the Florence Red Wolves in the Coastal Plain League, which is with the Marlins, and now they are the Florence Flamingos. And was able to call a game at Francis Marion this past summer. And then Saturday, week from this upcoming Saturday, September 18th, the Bears come home to open league play against Limestone. So the defense of the South Atlantic Conference Championship begins 1 week from Saturday here at Moretz. And the Bear men's team actually has this entire week off. They won their first game here on Saturday against Florida Tech, as I mentioned. And they got their first game postponed at Young Harris. They're making that game up. Young Harris, Georgia got hit pretty hard by Hurricane Ida after it made landfall. And so the field was not playable down at Young Harris. That was supposed to be last Thursday. So the Bears men's team will head to Young Harris a week from today. So Bears men's team, they've had some injury problems, getting healthy. Juan Basabe, the starting goalkeeper, is still out, but hopefully back soon. A couple of starting forwards out with injuries as well for the men. So they will head to Young Harris a week from tonight. And then that Limestone game is a doubleheader as we get into South Atlantic Conference play. The men's and women's games are generally doubleheaders with the women playing first. Bears football is off this weekend. They had a dominating 48-7 win over Virginia State to start their football season, as we're still waiting on the lights to come back on here. 3:03 to go in double overtime. Lady Bears and North Greenville tied up at 1 here in Golden Goal double overtime. The Bears head to Newberry. This is Bears football next Saturday, September 18th. And then finally back home between the bricks on September 25th. That game is against Mars Hill. It'd be so great to see all the Bear football fans back in all their glory after very limited number were allowed in the shortened spring season. But Coach Mike Jacobs and the Bears off to a great start. I'll have Coach Mike Jacobs on Bears Talk Live tomorrow. We'll be doing that at 12:30 p.m. As always, like we do every Thursday during the school year, from the Blowing Rock Draft House. So we'll have guests from triathlon and golf. A little bit, going on 10 minutes now of lights off. Little Dua Lipa playing through the speakers. Can't go wrong with that. Somebody's doing the worm. That's Nev Dustin doing the worm out there on the field. Trying to pump everyone up. Appreciate you sticking with us here on a Wednesday night on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Eric Bach, Danny Nicosia. Danny had to step off to lend her expertise and assistance to our game operations folks here as we try to get the lights back on. 3 minutes to go in double overtime. We've got lights all around the stadium coming on, but we can't seem to get the actual stadium lights on there. The high jump / pole vault pit to the camera's left is lit up. The street behind us is lit up. The street to our right is lit up. $45-minute lightning delay in the middle of the second half kind of set us back time-wise. And here we are in double overtime. See people huddled up. Head coach Gary Higgins for the Bears, head coach Andy Robinson for the North Greenville Crusaders, who have played a phenomenal game tonight on the road against the number 11 team in the country. Looking to draw or win still. 3:03 to go. Certainly could still win. Sometimes technology just does not cooperate. That is for sure. And I'm sure that all of the people in charge of putting this game on are just desperately scrambling to find a solution to this rather large problem. If you have any thoughts about the game, feel free to tweet us at LR Bears. It's capital L, capital R, lowercase Bears. It's our temporary Twitter account after our beloved at Bears Sports got put in indefinite Twitter jail. It wasn't our fault, Twitter. We got copyrighted on some videos back from 2016 before anyone who currently works in the athletic communications department was around. Trying to mount a Twitter campaign to get Bears Sports back. You can follow us, Bears Sports, on Instagram, Lenoir-Rhyne University Athletics on Facebook. To keep up with all things Bears all the time, be sure to check out Bears Talk Live. Tomorrow, we're on Facebook Live, and that will be posted to both Facebook and YouTube. This game will be posted to YouTube tomorrow. If you would like to watch on demand, our YouTube page, it'll be linked on lrbears.com with this game. People are in high spirits out there. The teams are out there lined up like they're going to play at this point. They've seen huddles both on the field, at the bench. We've seen lots of different methods of motivation from both coaches, but at this point, we're 3 minutes away from a draw. Got a lot of tired legs out there right now. North Greenville's got to make their trek back tonight. Sure, they would like to get on the road sooner rather than later. Can't say I blame them for that. Good to see the Lenoir-Rhyne men's team here supporting the women. Big expectations for both of these two. The men, it was a crazy week for them. They won their opener against Florida Tech, quality win, but they went from receiving votes in the original poll, and then they jumped to number 8. I'm told that it's going to be a little while for the lights. So, to spare everyone having to listen to my voice for an indefinite amount of time, we're going to take a break and fire some commercials off here on the Bears Sports Network. Once we have updates, I'll be back on to let you know. But until then, we're in a delay trying to get the lights back on with 3 minutes to go in double OT here at Moretz.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
Fresh vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
All right. The lights are firing back up. Lights are firing back up. They were playing the cha-cha slide and it cut off, much to the dismay of the fans in attendance. So we're just waiting for the lights to fire back up all the way. Danny's on her way back. All right, partner. She's got her headset back on. Did you was it your doing, getting the lights back on?
I will not take any credit for that. I was the moral support.
What took so long? Just they had to reboot?
They had to cool down, and then there's a 10-minute grace period
oh boy,
before they can be turned back on, and took a little bit to heat up, but
here we are. They're back.
We're here, ready to go.
The clock ran 4 seconds. It should be at 3:03, and now it's fixed. And we're back with a goal kick from Lizzie Luzzy. Try to say that name as many times as I possibly can the last 3 minutes. Golden goal. A goal wins. Scarlett Kelly, Addie Kyle. Of all things weird that could have happened tonight, we had a lightning delay. The lights went out. I mean, I don't know if you can really have many more interruptions to a game.
Not any that you would think. I mean, I didn't think that the lights would ever go off, but it happens.
A very good point.
What? It happens, and it's all good.
This is in the middle. Peralta had a good chance at it, but it got blocked.
Good pressure there by Maddie Kyle, surrounded right outside the box.
Ooh, Kelly had a chance to turn it around there and couldn't. 2:15 to go.
Bears are really going to load up on that in that final third and look to put some shots on goal as best they can.
And try and steal one here late. Kelly whiffed on the header. Luzzy picks it up.
And I think North Greenville will be happy with a tie here.
Yeah, I think that they'd be thrilled.
Absolutely.
To walk out of here with a draw.
And you can tell by the way that Luzzy just kind of waited until O'Leary stepped towards her and then picked the ball up, just killing the clock just a little bit.
I think draw is the best case scenario for the Crusaders tonight.
Absolutely. Coming in, playing the number 11 ranked team and drawing.
Yeah.
Can't beat that. But still a minute 23 left. See if
We're not out of the woods yet.
Absolutely not. See if the Bears or the Crusaders can put one in the back of the net.
Another throw-in coming for the Crusaders right in front of the Bear bench. 1:05 to go. If we don't find one in the back of the net after this minute, we head home with a draw.
We have the goal-scoring chant going here in the last 45 seconds.
This crowd has been great tonight. They've been kept the energy through a light delay. A little bit ironic that it was lightning that stopped the game and then lack of light that stopped the game the second time.
It is pretty ironic.
23 seconds.
Could have used that bright lightning from earlier.
That's right. Captured it. Bears just got to keep this thing out of their own net.
But again, no one up there because they're all packing the box.
Grayson Cameron boots
Not
it.
the best punt either.
Nope. And we have drawn. 2 goals in the second half, 1 for each side. Scoreless 20-minute double overtime. And North Greenville's got to be thrilled with tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, great match on each side. Took a little bit to get comfortable for both the Bears and the Crusaders, but a strong battle through and through, and a couple of delays along the way, but strong showing from both teams.
Bears have to hit the road or the airport, we're not sure, tomorrow to head to Florida for a huge top 11 matchup with the number 4 ranked Florida Tech Panthers. That is Friday night from Melbourne, Florida. Keep an eye.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say keep an eye on LR Bears social media for updates on that game. I'm sure there will be a live stream link placed on the LR Bears website. Go ahead, Danny. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, although it's a quick turnaround for the Bears, it's a great game to really look to come out strong and bounce back. Those big games are the ones you live for. So hopefully the Bears can come out and give it their all.
You know that they will do that. Just got to figure out the execution piece of it. Try and bounce back. A draw is certainly a better feeling than a loss, but
absolutely,
the Bears are going to go into tonight feeling disappointed with how they played. And maybe that'll be some motivation for the big one Friday. So back home 1 week from today against Francis Marion. League play starts on Saturday, September 18th here at Moretz against Limestone. So for Danny Nicosia, the rest of our crew that have braved it out tonight through multiple delays, Eric Bach saying so long from Moretz Sports Complex. Bears and Crusaders draw it up at 1 tonight. We'll talk to you next time on the Bears Sports Network.